actually ask, what about the truth? But what is truth? What is the truth they're trying to pursue? I think this should be a good beginning question to think about, because at least when we Christians think about the truth, yes, we think about historical facts, right? Jesus Christ and his death and resurrection are historical facts. But also, I think it's hard for you to convey a truth without interpreting the truth, right? So that's why I think the Bible is an incredible book, because it's God's truth and God's interpretation of truth, God's interpretation of the history. But right here, what we try to do in media, social media, and those channels, we have the fact, and when they will convey the fact, that when they will present the fact, even if they don't want to, I think they will provide some interpretation of the facts, right? So maybe the question should be, what is truth for them? And even among Fox journalists or people there's different kinds of truths for them, right? Or different kinds of interpretation of the same historical event. So yeah, it's kind of confused, but
yeah, I'm also curious if it is for news channels today, not so much of what is the truth, but more and more of what truth, what do we want our listeners to perceive as truth?
yeah.
Well, that's certainly true. I mean, the news model is a profit-based model. So like you were saying, the whole putting something sensationalistic to get clicks. I mean, that's how they run their model. So even people going on the news channel saying, well, Fox has become this, or Fox saying, well, CNN's become this, that gets clicks. Yeah. And because their base largely agrees with them, their base is going to continue watching them and supporting them. So, but that just compounds the issue. It just creates more polarity. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, again, it goes down to those baseline assumptions, those baseline presuppositions. What is it that they want? What kind of worldview do they want to present? Yeah. What kind of world do they want others, their listeners, to see? Right? That's going to influence the events that they report on, and then the way that they present those events. There is no neutral ground. I think there may have been a time in American history where we were maybe closer to that, but even that, I think we overstate how neutral that time was, even looking back into the past.
Yeah, so we can sit all day and talk about Fox News and CNN, what they do, which I think most people agree. I remember a segment not too long ago about the January 6th riots, and it came out that there was a lot more video material that was not being shown, and people were making a big story out of this because they said, well, when we first saw it, the way people perceived January 6th as though this mass crowd was just rioting, destroying everything, but now there's a lot of other footage that shows that, yes, there were some, but a lot of people were peacefully walking into... I don't think you can peacefully walk into a government building. But it was very interesting because the news itself was arguing and discussing what they always do in a different perspective, right? So, but for us as Christians, we want to know what is true and right, absolutely. But we really want to view that through the way that God wants us to view news. Right, the way that he wants us to think, the way he wants us to reason. Is it possible to watch today's news channels and remain a Christian thinker? And if so, how?